Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Furman BMW in Palm Harbor, Florida, and guess what? We have it. This is the all-new BMW 2020 BMW M235i Gran Coupe, and of course in that X-Drive platform, that all-wheel drive that's going to stick you to the ground. But before we dive into this new 2 Series Gran Coupe, let's talk a little bit about BMW. So BMW, that iconic German brand, has been around since 1916. During World War I, airplane engines, airplanes. After the war was over, switched to motorcycles and then cars. One thing is for certain, over the decades of their vehicle production, they've been known for really driving engagement. Now, the interesting thing is, over the past, I would say, 5 to 10 years, that's kind of drifted away. But BMW is working very, very hard to get that feeling back into the steering wheels of their products. Now, with this BMW M235 Gran Coupe, they're trying to bring a value, a performance value with that luxury in a very, very small package. Now, the interesting thing is that you have some BMW faithful that are scratching their heads about this car because they don't understand why BMW is making it. But what BMW is trying to do is bring more people into the fold. Now, looking at it, it may look a little unique, and the reason why is it's actually sitting on the same chassis as the BMW X2 and also the crossovers from Mini, because remember, BMW connection with Mini, they own Mini, so you're gonna have that carryover. Another thing is that over in Europe, you can actually get this car. This car is front-wheel drive based. Now here in the United States, they only offer it X-Drive, which is BMW's terminology for all-wheel drive, but this is technically a front-wheel drive setup that also has all-wheel drive. But something is very certain for this particular car: has BMW done enough to make it a true BMW? So let's go ahead, dive into this M235 and find out. Right off the bat, very, very BMW unique styling at the front end of the business. Now, I like what they did with the headlight design, all blacked out. You're gonna get the LED daytime running lamps, those halo design. That's been a trademark of BMW for years, to have that daytime running lamp that encompasses the headlight. But you can see how they changed it up of recent past. You drop down. One of my favorite things about this M235 is I love the extension that they do on the front fascia around the air intake. So you have functional air intakes on both corners, plus you're gonna have your functional side air curtain as well. They don't stick on a lot of extra things, but what they do is they actually form it from the bodywork. So the way they extended this lower portion is gonna help scoop air in, give you a little bit of downforce as well. And as we come across the front grille area, that is that iconic grille shape, kidney grille shape. It's changed over the years just a little bit, gotten a little larger, gotten a little wider, but you can still see that same basic setup. I love on this one how we have a blacked out car with the blacked out grille. So you have gloss black, there's that iconic logo, Bavarian Motor Works, the Bavarian flag colors, the blue and white. We drop down, you have a little bit more gloss black. And then here's what I was pointing out, like on the corners, how they take the center lip spoiler here and kind of just extend it out. Nothing tacked on, very, very clean from the front, very, very aggressive. And I think that my 2 favorite things are these center air intakes here, very large, functional, and it just adds to the overall look and performance. When we get up onto the hood, the way they took the body lines, they artistically did it very, very nicely. So they started on the front fascia, then it goes stronger into the hood, and then it fades away. So you're gonna get a nice personality from the front of the vehicle, and that's gonna be a little hard to do on this particular car because of the overall dimensions of it and sitting on that X2 chassis. Now, this being an M235i, this is the wheel and tire setup. So this is a 19-inch wheel. I like the machined aluminum, the gloss black. You have your M badge. Now, this is not a true M car. So yes, you see M before the 235i, but this is not a true M car, but they took certain styling elements that they have designed over the years and brought it into this vehicle. So I do like the M logo there. You have that massive blue caliper that's gonna clamp down the rotor, and to be honest with you, very pleasantly surprised to see a large ventilated rotor with that caliper there that's gonna give us some nice braking capability. Now, as we go into the fender, the wonderful news is it's nice and clean. No stuck on fake vents or anything like that. Of course, we're gonna have color matched on the mirror caps, You have your turn signals built in. Everything else is gloss black. So if you're looking at a red version of this car, these pieces here around the window glass and everything, that's all going to be gloss black, but it really just blends in nicely on this particular one. The side sill has a nice flared out extension as you work your way towards the back. Remember, we have all-wheel drive. And let me show you something unique about the windows. So you have frameless windows like that. And notice how this piece actually, it stays with the chassis itself. It does not come out with the door. I kind of like that touch because now you're not going to touch all of that all over the place. We close it, you can clearly see the cutout there. Very nice, very clean. This one has a panoramic sunroof. You got your shark fin antenna up there, nice and sleek. The style of the rear quarter window is a nice size, and I like the way that they extended that gloss black treatment just a tad, just to give it a little bit extra form. And then as we're working our way back, the M235i has a tasteful trunk-lid spoiler. We drop down, there's our badging, and I like the way that they go with like a bronze copper color with that M235i. Here's our X-Drive, and then you're gonna have a very, very tasteful exhaust. What's nice is they're functional, and I like the way that they're slash cut and they really fit well around the rear diffuser area. And this center portion, they added some nice creativity. They could have just left it plain Jane. Looks nice and aggressive, just like the front. But why don't we go ahead, pop the hood, and see what's powering this BMW. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. Underneath that hood is gonna be a 2-liter inline-4 engine, turbocharged engine. You're looking at 301 horsepower, 332 pound-feet of torque. It's all mated to that ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. This vehicle weighs around 3,600 pounds. 0 to 60, 4.6 seconds. Now the great news is it could take up to half of its power and transfer it to the rear wheels with the all-wheel drive system. MPGs, 22 in the city, 32 on the highway. This is really the talking point. This is the thing that people are arm wrestling and tongue wrestling over, is this engine and chassis setup, so similar to what's over at Mini right next door, and also the X2. But I do like, you can see the bracing that they put here, and I definitely can't wait to take it for a spin. But why don't we fire it up and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this very unique BMW M235i Gran Coupe. I know you're at that point where you're like, Joe, this is new. It's got all-wheel drive. I'm kind of liking it. How much is it? You're looking at a price of around $51,800 for the MSRP. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, to the door panels, a lot of dark material, but BMW does it very well. They brought some faux carbon fiber, this gray faux carbon fiber. Very tasteful touch, nothing too gaudy. You have that German-style belt buckle up there for a door handle. I like it. It's nice and large. The brushed aluminum look looks really clean. And then the armrest, very unique design with some nice contrast stitching. Not the softest, but it does look good. And of course, you're gonna have a pocket down there for a German Super Slurpee and a couple bratwursts that you could just slide right into that door pocket. Now, the dash, very BMW-esque. So very far forward, you can see the creases, the stitch work. That faux carbon fiber has a nice feel, nice look to it. We come into our infotainment. Now, the infotainment system is touchscreen, as you saw that I just touched it and it did something. You do have your navigation, of course, very, very fast reacting. You can have it set up with your music and all that, go into your car features very easily, your vehicle status. One thing I want to show while we're on the screen are the different modes. So you have 3 different modes: Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro. And it's nice the way they change on the screen for you. You can see what mode you're in, and the car is going to behave differently in each mode. Now, as we drop down, you do have your dual climate. I love the silver trim that they add, very tasteful, very classy. One thing that this does not have, which is a major zonk, are heated or ventilated seats. At $51,000, that's a zonk times 2 times infinity. So I would like to see heated seats and ventilated seats in here. Very slim and trim on the AC controls. You do have wireless charging, which is nice. 2 cup holders, but what's interesting is how BMW puts their USB and their 12 volt right by your drinks. I guess people who drive BMWs don't spill their drinks ever. Now you do have gloss black, it's a bit, and it will show its fingerprints, so make sure you get your BMW M cloth to clean that off. This little guy here, this is going to control that 8-speed automatic transmission, ZF. You have your BMW iDrive controller, which allows you to go through the whole navigation and everything. Your start-stop button tastefully placed. Let's look at backup camera. So I'm going to throw it into reverse. There we are out back. You can hear the beeping from the laser sensory technology, but super clear. I love the way it shows trajectory and everything, and even how it has that 360 display with the different colors, which makes driving this car, or any BMW for that matter, very, very easily. Now, armrest looks good. Love the stitching. The only problem is it feels like a bratwurst that's been sitting outside for about a month. It's hard as a rock. Good news is you lift it up, you get another USB, and you can take some of those very famous German chocolate Twinkies and put about 6 of them in there. Just lay them down nicely. You won't squish them. Seats. I like the one-piece backs. Very unique design. It's even got the M colors on there for you. The stitch work is great. Full controls, power assist for passenger and driver. The challenge is they're not heated or ventilated. I do like that M235i sill badge. This one has the panoramic sunroof, which is really nice, and the frameless auto dimming mirror, which is another nice touch. Really cleans up this whole area. And then of course your key fob. So there's your BMW logo, very light. There's the M colors, and on the back it's just plain Jane, but it's nice and smooth. You can put it in your pocket. It's not going to poke you in those areas that you don't like getting poked, at least by this. Plenty of headroom, plenty of shoulder room. Get your butt over here to the business end. I want to show you behind the wheel of the M235i. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory settings, but yet still no heated or ventilated seats. You have wonderful lumbar support, which is great. Steering wheel is my favorite part in this car. BMW does a great steering wheel. Nice thickness. Love the brushed aluminum look. The M logo staring at you in the face. You do have 2 large paddles behind the wheel. And what's wonderful is that you have your 10.25-inch display here. So Tom will kind of zoom in and show you that screen there. And what's great is that if you're in dynamic, you have your speedometer on the left, tachometer on the right. I know it looks busy, but I promise you, you drive it a little while, it makes sense. I go into comfort, and look how it changes a little bit. And then I go into Eco Pro, and it changes even more. So very nice, and you have the navigation in the center, and it tells you that you're in an M235 in case one day you forget, you know, is this a BMW? That's the big question about this car. But overall, seats are great, just enough amount of bolstering. They're just not heated or ventilated, which I probably sound like a broken record now, but $51,000. Let's go ahead and check out the back seat and see how much room you have for your passengers in this M235i. All right, guys, back seat time. If I look cramped, it's because I am cramped. It's a little tight back here. Now, they tried their hardest to notch out these little 2 places for someone's head, but at 6 feet tall, I can't sit upright. I just can't. The seats are comfortable. The backs, I like the way they're full leather all the way around. You do have pockets on both sides for you know, a German back scratcher or a toothbrush. You have your 2 AC vents and 2 USBs. It's really tight back here. Plop down the armrest. That's a little softer. I do like that. And of course, you got your cup holders nicely placed. But I don't know how the BMW faithful are gonna take to this car. But let's go ahead and check out the trunk space and see how much room you have. All right, guys, time to check out the trunk space in our BMW. So you're gonna push the button, comes up. It's not electric assist or anything, but I'm actually quite impressed with how large the opening is for the trunk. That's gonna allow you to be able to get things in and out very easily. You're looking at 12 cubic feet of space. Now, the wonderful news, of course, is that those seats are gonna fold down. And then what do we have under the cargo? You have tons of storage. So no spare, but tons of storage, which is nice. You can load that up with all your favorite snacks and have extra room on top of that. But why don't we get to the best part of any BMW, and really the test, the true test. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this M235i for a spin. All right, guys, we left Furman BMW. We're in the all-new M235i on throttle. Here we go. Not too shabby. I mean, is it knocking me back in my seat like an M8? No, but that's not the intention of this car. It's not a full M car. I'm definitely curious to see how it's going to handle. So let's go into this right-hand turn, a little on the quicker side, on the brakes. Brake pedal feels great. That all-wheel drive keeps you planted, that's for sure. Shifts are nice and purposeful. So, I mean, is it a real BMW? I mean, on paper it is. But I don't know. It seems like some things get lost in translation just a little bit. Is it a performer? It's still a performer though. All-wheel drive, 301 horsepower. That's a fun time. I don't care what car you're in. But the brake pedal feels great. Everything is smooth. Back on throttle, drops down. The shifts are great. Definitely give them that. Let's see what it feels like over this crest. All-wheel drive keeps you planted. The steering has a nice firm feel. I do feel very connected to the front wheels, which is great. I'm just very curious how balanced the chassis is, and we're gonna find a road to hopefully test that a little bit. All right, guys, I have the ZF 8-speed in manual shift mode. In first gear, on throttle, here we go, second gear. I'll tell you right now, this thing shifts with authority. And that all-wheel drive kept you planted very nice, thank you. Not too shabby. Let's see how we go through this right-left transition here. You know what? It actually felt good. I felt confident. I felt in control. The shifts, when you go through the gearbox, you feel every shift in a good way. Now, a major zonk is that there's no heads-up display at $51,000. Another major zonk from my standpoint is where the gear indicator is. It's in the lower right-hand corner, and if they made it any smaller, I would need a pair of BMW spectacles times 20 on magnification to see it. But it felt good. The feedback to the steering wheel felt good. Is it traditional BMW good? Maybe not, but it still felt great. Brakes feel phenomenal. The pedal feedback is nice. You stop on a Euro, you give everybody change. That when it shifts, man, I like it. I like the way it shifts. Now, am I in love with the exterior? No, I've seen better. But definitely, it's going to be interesting to see how this competes against the Mercedes-Benz A-Class. That's really the main competitor for this car. But really, when you go into a turn, then you just get on throttle. I mean, the all-wheel drive does the business. Everything is easy to get to in here, which is nice, and I am digging the 8.8-inch screen. I like the way it's kind of just form-fitted right into the rest of the dash. It's not that traditional iPad style like we see on a lot of other vehicles. Visibility out the back is a little tight, but out the front, the windshield is nice and wide. A-pillars are out of the way. Your side mirrors are a great size. It's an interesting conundrum here with this BMW M235i. It really, really is. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel about what it's all about. We're going to get back to Furman BMW and wrap this up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys. It's been another wonderful day here at Furman BMW. I definitely got to thank Alan and the rest of the crew getting us access to the all-new M235i Gran Coupe. Is it a true BMW? That really is the biggest question, and I'm not 100% sure. I think that you will have to be the determining factor by getting behind the wheel of one of these. One thing is for certain though, 301 horsepower and all-wheel drive definitely was a fun experience to take out and go around the block and share that with you. But if it's cars like these, brand new, right off the lot, that you want to keep seeing on Radio's Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radio's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Radio's Rise merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee, helping me get this car on camera for you in the hot Florida sun. So thank you, Tom, for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.